নমস্কাৰ প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক মোৰ নাম পাৰ্থ বৰা আৰু সকলোকে আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠান উদ্যমী অসম উইমেন ইন বিজনেছ লৈ সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক ইণ্ডিয়া ইজ এ ইয়াং কান্ট্ৰি উইথ এন এনশিয়েন্ট লিভিং সিভিলাইজেশ্যন ভাৰত যুৱ প্ৰজন্মৰ যুৱ সমাজৰ এখন দেশ যিখন দেশত এক সভ্যতা আছে যি সভ্যতা পুৰণি কিন্তু জীবন্ত যি সভ্যতা হৈছে চিন্তাধাৰা বৈজ্ঞানিক চিন্তাধাৰাৰে পৰিপুষ্ট প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক এইখন দেশতে 18 পৰা 29 বছৰলৈ যি সকল আছে তেওঁলোকৰ সংখ্যাটো হৈছে 22% 22% অৰ্থাৎ 26 কোটি 13 কোটি মহিলা এই সকলৰ শক্তি চিন্তা প্ৰত্যাশাৰ বৰ্হি প্ৰকাশৰ এটা উপায় হৈছে উদ্যমিতা এন্টাৰপ্ৰেনিয়ৰশিপ আজিকালি ষ্টাৰ্টআপ আৰম্ভ হৈছে এতিয়া এওঁলোকক এটা ইকোসিস্টেম দিয়াৰ এক মনোহাৰে আমি শো আৰম্ভ কৰিছো তেওঁলোকক এটা ইতিবাচক পজিটিভ ইকোসিস্টেম প্ৰদান কৰাৰ পৰিমণ্ডল প্ৰদান কৰাৰ মানসৰে এই শো আৰম্ভ কৰিছো কিন্তু প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক 26 কোটিৰ কিন্তু দেখা পোৱা গৈছে 50 কোটি মই কলোই নাৰী সেই নাৰীসকলৰ যি অংশীদাৰিত্ব হ'ব লাগিছিল উদ্যমিতাত সেই অংশীদাৰিত্ব কিন্তু নাই আৰু সেই ধৰণে কিন্তু আমি যদি আগবাঢ়ি যাওঁ ইয়াৰ অৰ্থ নাথাকিব এই 26 কোটিৰ 13 কোটি নাৰীয়ে আকাশ চুপলে মন কৰে তেওঁলোক সমানেই দক্ষ বেছি হলেও কম নহয় পুৰুষৰ সমানেই দক্ষ গতিকে নাৰী সকলো যাতে এই উদ্যমিতাৰ পৃথিৱীখনলৈ আগবাঢ়ি আহে তাৰ উদ্দেশ্যৰে আমি এই শো অনুষ্ঠিত কৰিছো এই শোত আমি নিমন্ত্ৰণ কৰি আনো সফল উদ্যমী নাৰী যি সকলে তেওঁলোকৰ সফলতাৰ ষ্টৰী তেওঁলোকৰ মুখৰে কয় আৰু আমি ইনভাইট কৰো এনে কিছুমান বিশেষজ্ঞ যি বিশেষজ্ঞসকলে তেনে ধৰণৰ এক ইকোসিস্টেম অসমত কেনেকৈ গ্ৰহ দিব পাৰি সেই কথা আমাৰ ওচৰত আমাক জনায় আজিও আমি ইনভাইট কৰি আনিছো আমাৰ ষ্টুডিঅ'ত আছে মিতা নাথ বৰা বিশেষজ্ঞ আপোনাক স্বাগতম জনাইছো নিমিষা ডেকা ইণ্ডিয়া এক্সেলেটৰৰ নিমিষাক স্বাগতম জনাইছো আৰু অৰুন্ধতী বৰা অৰুন্ধতী বেম্বুচা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ ভেঞ্চাৰ বেম্বুচা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন ৰাইট বেম্বুচা ক্ৰিয়েশ্যন ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন মই অৰুন্ধতী আপোনাৰ পৰা আৰম্ভ কৰিম আপোনাৰ ভেঞ্চাৰটোৰ বিষয়ে কক ভেঞ্চাৰটো কি আৰু কেনেকৈ সেই আইডিয়া কনসিভ হল আৰু আইডিয়াটো এক্সিকিউট কেনে কৰিলে
সো বেম্বুচা ক্ৰিয়েশ্যনছ আমি স্পেশালি বেম্বু বেস প্ৰডাক্টস বিলাক আমি লঞ্চ আমাৰ ই-কমাৰ্চ সাইট এটা লঞ্চ কৰিছো জুলাই 25 জুলাই হয় যোৱা বছৰ সো আমি বেম্বু বেস প্ৰডাক্টস বেম্বু এণ্ড কেন তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ইকো ফ্ৰেন্ডলি প্ৰডাক্ট বিলাক আমি প্ৰমোট কৰো আৰু উই ট্ৰাই টু সেল ইট টু আমাৰ এতিয়া উই আৰ লাইভ প্যান ইণ্ডিয়া আমি প্যান ইণ্ডিয়াৰ যোনবিলাক যলৈকেও লাগে আমি আমাৰ বস্তুবিলাক পঠিয়াব পাৰো আমাৰ ইয়াৰ পৰা সো আমি ইয়াৰ পৰা আৰ্টিসানছৰ লগত কানেক্ট কৰি আমি এগ্ৰিগেট কৰো বস্তুবোৰ আৰু আমি wherever we need it in India
অসমত বেম্বুৰ খুব ভ্যালু আছে বেম্বুৰ বিভিন্ন প্ৰডাক্ট বনায় যিবোৰ কিছুমান প্ৰডাক্ট আমি ভাবিব নোৱাৰো সেই গোটেই প্ৰডাক্টবোৰ আপোনালোকে এগ্ৰিগেট কৰি দিয়ে
অসমত হয় বিকজ অসমত বাহটো এনেকুৱা এটা ৰিসোৰ্স হয় অসমৰ আই থিংক 38 ভেৰাইটিজ আমাৰ অকল অসমতে পোৱা যায়
হয়
সো সেই ৰিসোৰ্সটো আমি বাহিৰৰ মানুহবিলাকক দেখুৱাবৰ কাৰণে এটা ইটস লাইক প্ৰেজেন্টিং আমাৰ কিমান এটা ধুনীয়া ৰিসোৰ্স আছে এণ্ড কি বস্তু বনাব পাৰি বাহিৰে অকল ডেকোৰেটিভ আইটেমছ বা ফাৰ্নিচাৰে নহয় বাহিৰে আজিকালি কনষ্ট্ৰাকচনৰ কামো হয় বহুত ধুনীয়া ডাঙৰ কনষ্ট্ৰাকচনৰ আপুনি যদি ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া বালিত চাই বহুত ধুনীয়া বাঁহৰ বস্তু সিহঁতে বনায় বাঁহৰ মানে কনষ্ট্ৰাকচন কৰিছে এণ্ড সিহঁতে প্ৰপাৰ ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰিং এণ্ড আৰ্কিটেকচাৰ লগাই সিহঁতে এইবোৰ বনাইছে আমি আই থিংক উই অলছো ৱান্ট টু ডু ইট ইন দ্য কামিং ইয়াৰ্ছ সো আমাৰ বহুতো প্ল্যান আছে
ওকে হেখিনি প্ল্যান আপোনাৰ পৰা হেখিনি প্ল্যান জানিব বিচাৰিম নিমিষা আপোনাৰ ওচৰলৈ আহিছো ইতিমধ্যে মই ইন্ট্ৰোডাকশনটো দিলোই বহুত ডেটাজ আছে ডেটাবোৰে কয় যেটো পাৰ্টিসিপেশন উইমেনৰ হ'ব লাগিছিল নাৰী যেটো পাৰ্টিসিপেশন হ'ব লাগিছিল উদ্যমিতাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰখনত ষ্টাৰ্টআপে হ'ব বা এন্টাৰপ্ৰেনিয়ৰশিপে হ'ব কম তেওঁলোকক বহু তেনে ধৰণৰ এন্টাৰপ্ৰেনিয়ৰৰ সৈতে আমি কথা পাতিছো যি আৰম্ভ কৰাৰ সাহস কৰিছে সকলো কিন্তু ফাৰ্স্ট জেনাৰেশন কিন্তু তেওঁলোকে কৈছে তেওঁলোকক গ্ৰুমিং লাগে মেন্টৰিং লাগে ট্ৰেইনিং লাগে ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিয়েল সাপোৰ্ট লাগে ইনভেষ্টৰ্ছ লাগে এঞ্জেল ইনভেষ্টৰ্ছ লাগে কোড পাম কি কথা হেখিনি নাজানে আপোনালোকে কেনেকৈ সাপোৰ্ট দিয়ে আপোনালোকে বেসিক্যালি প্ৰথমতে কি কৰে আৰু নৰ্থ ইষ্টত কেনেকৈ আপুনি সহায় কৰে তেওঁলোকক
Right. So I belong to this organization called India Accelerator. India Accelerator enokwa eta platform hoy. This is a ecosystem that we are trying to build where startup founders, investors and mentors are all coming under one single roof. right? And this is like, we try to promote entrepreneurship. Jete at a startup or khub basic grooming lage. Hey, stage today we pick up these startups, we connect them to the relevant experts, we connect them to the industry experts and industry leaders who can give them the requisite mentorship, who can give them the requisite guidance, and then when they are ready, we also connect them to these angel investors. So angel investors as the people tahati nizor like teoloke nizor personal capacity invest korise, and it's very important when a startup founder is starting something of his own. It's very difficult for him to go door to door asking for funding. Etia enoko eta platform khub besi important hoy jot like all of these people are coming together investing in the startups, like investing in the growth of a particular startup. The hey angel investor bilak we have from India Accelerator, it provides them a network. So mane teolok ahi pele they can invest into the startup of their choice.
Hetu apni generally kole eti ami jehetu amar hokolo aji panelistot hokolo nari ami kotha pati asul women entrepreneur bishoye specific kiba program apnalokor ase niki?
Right, so India Accelerator or eta women centric cohort program eta ami arambho korisu in collaboration with Startup India. It's called I Aspire. Our angel investors karne also we have a specific group of women investors called She Angels. So this program is geared towards promoting entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and giving them the specialized effort, giving them the specialized the network for them to grow further. So we need this type of programs, and India Accelerator is providing that platform specifically for women founders. And but I think
She Angels necessarily the She Angel women entrepreneurs support She Angel koribo tenuka to kotha no hoy, but it is in a world where majority of the investors are male and who might be a little skeptical of investing in startups run by women. We need a dedicated network of women investors who can not only invest in the startup but also serve as representation and role model for our women founders, right? So this network is doing that, and it's not necessary. A lot of angel networks are sector agnostic. It's not necessary that a woman run angel network is going to invest in a woman run startup. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But the relevance is there. You see what the relevance, what the requirement of this specific network is. It's not just for women investors boli kotha nai. We are giving them the representation, we are giving women the the role model that they need, and it's very much lacking in the society of our current times. So that is what it's all about.
Generally CEO kalpana korile jon purukhor mukhe ahe Indira Nui etc kotha belag khub komei Mita Nath Bora apunar chole ahim apuni khunile data kisu tothyo kisu mane koy jodi overall bharatborkhor tothyo sao Nari participation startup at 7% and entrepreneurship as a whole 14%. Bibhinno figure very koribo pare kintu more or less tenekota thakibo. Kintu Uttor Purbancholot Northeastot koa hoy women are very empowered. Manipurot women market ase aru market pesot womenok dekha poa jay visibility ase. Kintu tothapiu hey women empowerment Northeastot ei khetrot oxymoron he biruddhalangkar hisabe dekha poa goise kio amar nari hokol iman empowered hoar pisoto self sustain economy ra thokar pisoto ei khetrokhonot kio jopia pora nai purukhor homane.
Before I answer this question of yours, I would like to add
sure.
saying about bamboo is that it is an Indian company who has now invested in Hilton Hotel in Indonesia, if I am not wrong, and got the entire contract. It is going to be Hilton's first bamboo hotel.
The entire construction to bamboo.
The entire construction in the interiors and everything, the entire hotel is made of bamboo, and it's an Indian agency which has won the tender.
So bamboo amar homor pra goise niki that you don't know.
See, bamboo, they are Maharashtra to bamboo teneka nohoy. It's a Maharashtra based agency, but they are definitely sourcing it from all over. Tripura is there, Assam is there, Northeast is there. They are aware of that. Northeast is rich in bamboo. So the best part, the good news is that when she was saying, look, we want to also go into other sectors of into housing and infrastructure. Yes, we are already there.
Yes,
we are there.
My question.
Okay, yeah. So now coming to see, it's very, you are talking about as to how do we keep women encouraged, right?
We need to encourage women. Tianko keneko ami encourage kurbo paro more women keneke tianko participate.
Yeah, let me say you very it's very simple. The first thing is that we have to constantly encourage them. we need not interrupt them when they are venturing out to fulfill their dreams. We need not clip their wings when they are trying to fly high. We need not judge them when they are trying to break the glass ceiling, and definitely we should not stereotype them as a gender, because women, I believe that there is no job that isn't a job that women cannot do. So we have recently heard of 27-year-old Ankiti Bose, who is India's first female unicorn founders, and she has been quite famous across the world, not only in India. She runs a $1 billion startup which is known as Zilingo. Now what she is doing is that she is enabling small manufacturers from Southeast Asia who has no access to technology, no access to funding, no access to capital. Yet now Zilingo is employing around 600 kind of people across 8 countries. So teneka last year ami jodi saw the number of women entrepreneurs who have added in the unicorn sector, there has been a huge rise, and many of them are women.
The Nyka's owner also.
See, MobiKwik owner, then Good Glam Priyanka Gill is there, then Echo Insurance Ruchi Deepak is there. There are numerous. It is a very good time for us, for women entrepreneurs. We are seeing a huge paradigm shift in the ecosystem. So it's not there maybe we are
inspiring stories.
See,
role model nai boli kole Northeastern perspective pora Northeastern probably a role model khinik Northeastern
we can bind role model in the sense, if you are taking all India perspective, we are having now role models. If you say Northeast, we haven't been able to reach there, but we are on the move. There are some very good tech startups which are women oriented, which are coming up. See, even in 2020, if I am not wrong, Bain and company, they have published a report where they have specifically said that women entrepreneurship or junto transformational, it will come in employment generation. 150 to 170 million jobs they will be able to create, which is the largest job which will be required by the year 2030.
Pan India Sobikhon Bhal, Northeastern Prohongula him, Amakote Hongzukto is a Karishma. Karishma, hello, Apanak Swagatam Janaisu. আমি কথা পাতি আছিল আপোনাৰ কিছু পলম হল আমি কথা পাতি আছিল ওমেন এন্টাৰপ্ৰেনৰ বিষয়ে প্ৰথমতে জানিব পাৰিম আপোনাৰ ভেঞ্চাৰটো কি আৰু আপোনাৰ আইডিয়াটো কেনেকৈ কনসিভ কৰিলে কেনেকৈ এক্সিকিউট কৰিলে
হয় মোৰ নাম কৰিশ্মা কাগুটি মই প্ৰফেশনালি ইন্টেৰিয়ৰ ডিজাইনাৰ হয় আৰু মোৰ ভেঞ্চাৰটো মই ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিলো 2016ত মই পঢ়াশুনা দিল্লীৰ পৰা কৰি মই জাৰ্মানী শিফট হৈছিলো তাতে মই সাস্টেইনেবিলিটি পেপাৰ এখন কৰিলো কৰি ঘূৰি আহি পেলাই মই জব কৰি আছিলো বাট again coming down to that point hetu homoy startup thing wasn't just a vibe. You were not like relating to exactly hoy ki did I just thought no, why don't I start off my own. Tetia moi 2006 not Guwahati ghuri ahi I have started my venture, which is in the name of K Design. That's an interior design company.
K Design,
yes. So now we are running in Bangalore and in Guwahati. Apart from that, in the coming years, it's just been 3 years now. I mean, Nutunke recently ekhon school, that is interior design school online, because of those students who cannot travel here in Guwahati. Aru COVID or homoy enukwa eta situation hol je people were like at least ami heto guide koribo parilu heten paru bhalke eta her koribole tete ami hetu motivate kori pele ami online eta base khulilu and tate ami the fees was not something that we were keeping in mind. It was just I would say in terms of teaching what basically design is, and we got a very good response. We have done few placements of few kids in companies like Asian Paints and Jaguar in Delhi and Bombay jekhini mur asile mur nijor sinakit. Aru thirdly ami recently moi a company launch korilu that is in the name of K Bespoke, which is very close to my heart because tate about women centric hoy. I'm working with the women empowerment sector because that whole concept is on the furnishing statement. For example, I being a designer, I travel to China or Milan to just purchase the furnishings. It can be a fabric, it can be a chair, but here me being from Northeast, what am I doing exceptional? So tate a concept to K Bespoke, what I do is all the furnishings that goes to an interior or it can be a resort or anything are all hand woven. Okay. So I have targeted few villages where this whole women are working for me and artisans exactly and COVID homoy he porial to the family was running. They were not even stopping that COVID hoise amar khabole nai hetu noy hua, and that was like I was very proud for that at least we did something good in that part. So now we are trying to export all these furnishings to the different countries like Japan or European countries. So furnishings kini amar USP to ki hoise because I'm a designer. I know as a fashion designer ডিজাইনাৰে জানে যে নহয় মই ড্ৰেছটো পিন্ধিলে কোট আমাৰ ফুলটো হলে ভাল লাগিব বা কোট এটা বাউণ্ডাৰী লাইন হলে ভাল লাগিব the same exactly that we are doing is in a product that is a high chair let's say এখন এটা ৰুমত এখন high chair হল বা এখন curtain টো হল বা runner টো হল আমি বহুত নলগাও কম লগাম but it's one time done
value addition কৰে
value addition
product
exactly
value addition কৰে এটা দুগৰাকী যেহেতু entrepreneur আমাৰ সৈতে আছে আপোনালোকক আপুনি যেতি আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে আপোনাৰ বুটস্ট্ৰেপিং কৰিছিলে লোন লৈছিলে কেনেকৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে অৰুন্ধতী
আমি যেতিয়া আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলোঁ মই মোৰ কো-ফাউণ্ডাৰ পংকজ গগৈ আমি দুজনে উইথ বুটস্ট্ৰেপ মানে আমাৰ কোনো ধৰণৰ ইনভেষ্টমেণ্ট নাছিলে মানে আউটসাইড ইনভেষ্টমেণ্ট নাছিলে আমি নিজৰ যেনেকৈ পাৰিছিলোঁ ফ্ৰম আ ভেৰি স্মল মানে amount we started and then we connected to a lot of artisans কিছুমানৰ পৰা পজিটিভ ৰেছপন্স কিছুমানৰ পৰা অকমান skeptical থাকে কিছুমান যে কি হয় অনলাইন প্লেটফৰ্মটো how will it help us but we try to educate them training to এতিয়াও আমি we are still working on it so আমি বহুত বেলেগ বেলেগ ধৰণৰ ক্লাষ্টাৰৰ লগত কানেক্ট কৰিছো হয় so তাতে যোনবিলাক আৰ্টিষ্টন্স আছে যোনে
সেইখিনি আপুনি কৰিছে মই সুধি ভাবিছো লোন ল'ব কিবা চেষ্টা কৰিছে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ ফেসিলিটিজ
নাই লোন আমি এতিয়ালৈকে লোৱা নাই বাট আমি we have just been selected for a grant
okay
so হেতু অলপ ইনকিউবেশন উইথ গ্ৰান্ট আমাৰ সাপোৰ্ট এটা পাইছো so we have will be starting that very soon
কৰিশ্মা আপুনি কেনেকৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে এন্টাৰ ভেঞ্চাৰ
K design to more নিজৰ savings এৰে কৰা বুলি কম because that was like it been quite a long time but K bespoke is something that I had been in the guidance of mentors tate WEP a kafi help korile muk I have mentors who have groomed me in a way bostu khini amak additional mane gute idea to ami mo form korilo but how am I bringing that to the market a marketing strategy R&D of how the market will respond me back so tate moi bostu khini gom palo je bahiror bostu khini bahiror states or countries jeneke respond korise অসমৰ মানুহখিনিও কেনেকৈ কৰিব তো সেই মাৰ্কেট ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিটো ইজ ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট
মানে কনজিউমাৰ বিহেভিয়াৰ মাৰ্কেট সাৰ্ভে হে এজেন্সি ল'ব লগা হৈছিল না আপোনালোকে নিজেই কৰিছে
নিজেও কৰিছো বাট দেন উই আৰ অলসো বিং গ্ৰুমড আপ ৰাইট মানে এটা ইনকিউবেশন চেণ্টাৰত লাইক
সেইখিনি
শিকিছো সো দ্যাট গিভস এন এডিশনাল নলেজ এণ্ড আপোনাৰ ভাল লাগে যে মোৰ বস্তুটো মই ভাবিছো বাট দেয়াৰ ইজ সামবডি অলসো হু ইজ এক্সপেৰিয়েন্স ইন দ্যাট ৱে কেন অলসো গাইড আছ সেইকাৰণে এটা ষ্টাৰ্টআপ really helps you out in that platform
mentoring is always very important
mentoring grooming lage aru eta etu question ma khudibo laibo jikunu khetrot jikunu project egoraki nari hisabe apnaloke advantage hoisil boli hobe na disadvantage for example bankole gole bankor manager jon investor ke approach korile কেতিয়াবা তেনেকুৱা জটিলতাৰ সৃষ্টি হৈছিল বা ডেনাই কৰিছে ৰিজেক্ট কৰিছে যে লকডাউন আপন তেনেকুৱা ৰেসপন্স পাইছিল নেকি বা কেনেকুৱা হয় কেনেকুৱা এক্সপেৰিয়েন্স আপোনালোকৰ এন্টায়াৰ জাৰ্নি
ইনিশিয়ালি মই 50-50% বুলি কম because interior itself কি হল it's a male centric business initially মই হুমাওতে মানুহে কয় পাৰিবা জানো বিয়াটো পাতা নাই সাইটত আহিব লাগিব কাম আছে it's something like that it's been initial years and now they are seeing me look I'm working like this but K bespoke time to when I was working because ami kiman manhok log koribo lage resource uthabo lage kotha patibo lage bahut khini mele thake women je happy ne khini kam korilo you have to travel everything and all that so thake mane eta ideology ki mane they don't respond you the way prompt respond to na pae to be very honest now when they have started saying etu bonwa kare enuka hol etu amar manhoe kinibo now they are being
proof koribo logia hoise
exactly you need to prove
arundhati apunar ki obhiggota
হেতু তেও যেনেকৈ ক'লে 50-50 হয় মানে এডভান্টেজেসও থাকে ডিসএডভান্টেজেসও থাকে মানে ডিসএডভান্টেজ বুলি নকওঁ দেয়াৰ ইজ অলৱেজ সাম ডাউট ক্ৰিয়েটেড মানে সবে এটা ভাবে যে পাৰিবনে নোৱাৰে বাট দেন ওয়ান্স উই গো হেড এন্ড দেখি মানুহে দেখা পায় যে কৰি আছে দেখুন ইন স্পাইট অফ এভৰিথিং দ্যাট ইজ when they get the confidence
মানে এটা এক্সট্ৰা ষ্টেপ পুৰুষতকে আছে এক্সট্ৰা ষ্টেপ যাব লাগে প্ৰুভ কৰিব লাগে তেনেকুৱা এটা মাইন্ডসেট আছে
I would say
Mita, how do you react?
Well, traditionally, yes, when you were saying ki women did find, if I keep it very India specific or region specific,
yes.
I had a lot of women coming up and saying that they really had to struggle when they had gone to the bank for some loan, for even for the smallest of business. If we hear both perspective, banks also has the fear of being NPA. So they also fear in the sense ki there are certain also reports where the business has not done well and it has gone bankrupt and so that is that and also a lot of problem comes in the documentation process
janibo lage they should know right
at a bank or bahut kisuman documents dorkar hoy it's not the official who has put in there. Sometimes it happens that the women, funders or those who are going for women do not have it in place. So it takes them a long time. So a lot of awareness, sensitization and conditioning needs to be done. But if you see, times have changed. There are many women-centric loan itself where they are going and approaching women to come forward and take the loans.
মই এটা ব্ৰেক ল'ব লাগিব প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক এটা বিৰতি ল'ব লাগিব বিৰতিৰ পিছত পুনৰ এই আলোচনা আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাম
এতিয়া বিশ্বই জানে ষ্ট্ৰং মানে মাইথান নিৰ্মাণৰ মানদণ্ড
নমস্কাৰ প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক বিৰতিৰ পিছত সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো আমাৰ এই বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান উদ্যমী অসম উইমেন ইন বিজনেছ মিটা আপোনাৰ সৈতে কথা পাতি আছিলো এটা জেন্ডাৰ বায়াসৰ কথা আমি পাতি আছিলো আপুনি প্ৰতিক্ৰিয়া দি আছিল তেওঁলোকৰ কন্টিনিউ কৰিব
This was regarding women and funding.
This was regarding women business.
Let me say you we have now several banks in Northeast who runs women specific schemes for funding women entrepreneurs. Apart from that, the Assam government also has taken certain initiatives. All India also there are certain initiatives which is not region specific. Anyone from Northeast, women entrepreneurs in Northeast can access. Can I share certain data?
Yes, sure.
First of all, as far as startup is concerned, we already have something called the Nest, which is an Assam entrepreneurial hub, which is supported by the Assam government in collaboration with IIM Kolkata. Now this Nest already has lot of startup entrepreneurs who have got funding, right, in the last 1-2 years. This year in budget also for startup Amar Junto Etia Notun 2022-23 budget sanction has said the state government has earmarked a specific 9.5 crores for startup, and they are coming up with a startup policy and implementing it, and they are saying that they will be providing financial grants for developing ideas into prototypes, launching them also in the market. So there is a specific fund which has been given. Let me also say you that apart from this, from 2017 there is Assam is also giving a special one-time incentive of rupees 5,000 per woman candidate. This is for rural women entrepreneurs, and which has an upper limit of 1 lakh up to 3 years under this Assam, again under the Assam startup policy of 2017. Besides mane etia ame jodi ko je gutei all India, the list is endless in terms of financial assistance. When you are talking about funding, financial assistance, Annapurna scheme is there, Stree Shakti scheme is there, Orient Mahila Vikas Yojana scheme is there, Dena Shakti is there, Udyogini is there, Kalyani scheme is there, Mudra Yojana, many of you know, Mahila Udyam is there, Thread is there. Then Stand Up India has a financing specifically for ST/SC women and separately also again for women entrepreneurship. Startup India, Stand Up India has different scheme through which bank loans between 10 lakhs to 1 crores are at least for one schedule caste and a tribe, and for women per bank they have already set up. Then National Innovation and Startup Policy of 2019 gives for students and faculty of higher educational institution. Ministry of MSME has a Udyam Shakti. So and there are also monthly allowances given. Let me also share that there is Niti Aayog has a special platform for women health startup. This is called the Women Startup, the WEP. So Imman Bosu said, I think as far as funding is concerned, it should not be constrained now, because there is enough schemes and policies both from the center and from the state which are there. Apart from that, there are a lot of CSR initiatives who are funding startups. Tech startups are there. Then there are civil society organizations who have come forward in providing grants. So there is all the opportunity for women to access this. I think what is happening, or the problem that we are coming is that a lack of awareness that these exist for women to take. These are, some of them are specific women centric itself, but some of them are open to all genders, so even they can go ahead and take it.
Etia kotha to hetu iman kini endless schemes nimisa amar তেওঁলোকে জনালে কৰিশ্মাই কলে যে তেওঁ অৱগত নহয় না জানে এতিয়া কেনে কই is it not our responsibility to tell everyone about these schemes?
Right. So responsibility to hoy eta government scheme after scheme release korise, but who is going to spread the awareness about the
na thake ki lav?
তেনেকা হেতু কথা নহয়, like the government is doing its part, the media should also do its part. This is one of the forums jot ahi pele ami ebur kotha discuss kora hoise. I belong to the startup ecosystem and even I wasn't aware of these particular schemes. Eta government is scheme or upar scheme release kori ase, but all of these things need to reach, penetrate the, like, you know, the people, the common folks. Etia startup kori trend eta market ot choli ase karone people are, like, you know, delving into it, but the people who need it the most at the grassroots level jak lage, is the government spreading the requisite awareness, is the media spreading the requisite awareness, enokwa type of show aru kiman ase. So it's the responsibility of the government, it's the responsibility of the media not to launch schemes but also spread awareness about the said schemes. So hetu eta part korile, like, I believe there would be a lot more entrepreneurs would be coming from, like, you know, small towns and small villages. So yeah.
So less of paperwork, olopan kom paperwork kori dia hok ba gote process to easier kori dia hok, one window kori dia hok.
That is already there.
Yeah.
So I would like to share this. This is very interesting. Let me say, see, for financial assistance, only to encourage entrepreneurs to have their business ideas, there is an let me share this. There is where they are simplifying. See, the startup initiative which has been rolled out in 2016, it specifically has something, simplification and hand holding. So what they are doing, they are making easier compliances, legal support, fast tracking of application, and a website that will reduce information asymmetry, which we are talking of less of paperwork and documentation. In terms of funding and initiative, there is exemption on income tax, on capital gain tax for eligible startup, a fund to infuse more capital into the startup ecosystem, and a credit guarantee scheme. For incubation and industry academia partnership, there are for creation of numerous incubators for innovation lab, events, competition. Other lab is also there in a tinkering lab, we all know about it. Even in case of networking, juntu hoday eta problem pai, because networking is the new thing in business.
Right.
So but even with Stand Up India, now networking has also been made easy for the stakeholders. So in apun jodi sai etia all India, Northeastern figure ami etia poa nai, but all India, if you see in 2021, women led entrepreneurship in terms of funding has gone up to $9.4 billion last year.
It's all India.
So which means that many women are actually taking access to funding.
All right. So bikon bhal.
So there are people who are accessing, who are taking, otherwise how do you get these pictures?
All right. So ki kobo bisaribo apnaloke, Arundhati ki kobo bisaribo, iman kini subidha ase, apnaloke kot samossa to kot pai ase, apnaloke samossa to koleter samanon labo.
Awareness to etiao ahibole baki ase, teo research korise about this whole thing. তেওঁ জানিস মানে বুজি পাইছে, বাট আমিও কৰি আছো, বাট আই থিংক বহুত মানুহে এতিয়াও বহুতখিনি স্কিম নাজানে, ইমানখিনি স্কিমৰ নাম তেওঁ ল'লে। আই থিংক বহুত মহিলাই সেই স্কিমবিলাকৰ নামেই শুনা নাই বা নেজানে বা এক্সেছ কৰিব পৰা নাই। চ' সেই গ্যাপটো
ইনফৰমেশ্যন গেপ আপুনি কি ক'ব কৰিছমা?
I think personally, more into stage par where I was not being helped, or maybe I was like looking for people who can help me. Right now, where we have been provided with incubators and manhu alopman guidance, se hekhiniyo moi nije bisari more mutual friends who are in the same segment is helping. There is no one coming to me and kyo tumi bisarisa niki aha eku nai etiao nai. So why don't we come up with something, you know, shows like this are so wonderful. Manhu eta kiman khini communication paise, kiman khini youngsters are looking ahead for the show today, I have told them. So you know, we should, like, you know, put some shows, or we should also do a marketing where we have some sort of people who can guide those ki mane enoko lorsal thakibo pare june sake na jane, who are background to iman heri no hoy, they can come forward, meet us, we can, you know, link them up to the more the main point heri le startup le. So here why don't we create a channel, especially with all the youngster people who have so much of good ideas. I have spoken with them recently. Ami eta startup or hinakhon amar ata meet asile, tate we have seen, you know, ami eta campaign launch korislu where we wanted these people to come and talk to us. So I got 2-3 messages of young, you know, one guy and also young girls coming to me and telling me lifestyle startup eta asile where they were talking about cosmetics. There was one more startup of where they were you know, making something on the rent. I mean rent bisarile je hunkale fast eta heri hok app eta where, you know, aggregator exactly. So there is so good ideas, and these are kids. Imagine, so hiotok jodi ami enike groom up koribo paru, we can, you know, create a lot of awareness in the society where people can come up and we can work together. That's where I believe yet manhure moi janu moi thoi disu, that is not how you grow. You should speak out. talk, share that.
Nationally কিছুমান reality show হয় তেনেকুৱা reality show ইয়াতে হ'ব পাৰে
business reality show.
business reality show
Exactly.
idea আহিব সবৰে পৰা idea ক্ৰাফট কৰি পেলাই আমি হে এক্সিকিউট কৰিব পাৰে কোনোবাই সেই যেটো আইডিয়া আৰু ইনভেষ্টৰৰ কানেক্ট টু আপুনি গভৰ্নমেন্ট ইনভেষ্টমেন্টৰ কথা ক'লে নিমিছা আপুনি প্ৰাইভেট ইনভেষ্টমেন্টৰ লগত ডিল কৰে সেই আইডিয়া আৰু ইনভেষ্টমেন্টৰ কানেক্ট টু নৰ্থ ইষ্টত কৰিব কেনেকৈ পৰা যায়
So we need platforms like this. Our media awareness generating eneka platforms lage. A panel like this is doing that for the future, like the younger generation. But the biggest question here is ki this is not reaching the grassroots levels. Even though awareness hoye ase, people are creating platforms of this sort. India Accelerator has come to Northeast. But grassroots level lot, like people at Northeast are entrepreneurial by nature, like we had discussed. But hey, grassroots level lot, that village level, that town level lot, awareness can be generated only through the media and through the government itself. Social media amar nisna, like people from who have the privilege, who have access to internet, তেওঁলোকে social media google কৰি পেলাই schemes and all উলিয়াই লব but the schemes that are very essential to the entrepreneurial men and women living in villages and small towns তেওঁলোকৰ maybe they don't have the privilege, they don't have access to internet connections ইহঁতৰ এনেকুৱা মানুহবিলাকৰ কাৰণে like the media has to do its role, the government has to do its role. I'm reiterating once more ki scheme or scheme uliyai thakile nahobo, people has to know about it. If people if there's nobody who is telling the startups to come and access the funds, then don't you think it's a waste?
I would like to add on there. That is one perspective. Now, we have two women entrepreneurs who are based in Guwahati.
Yeah.
Have you visited the Nest?
Yes.
Have you registered yourself there?
Yes, I did it.
So she did it.
I haven't
so
yet.
it's when you say haven't you reached out? They have already set up a huge nest
Exactly.
in the prime location of the city.
Yes.
But I still know a lot of educated women who have not even visited there once and to know the benefit. When she said that she has never got a mentor, the hub provides you mentorship, the hub provides you grant, hub provides you an incubation. You don't have to spend on infrastructure. You can ideate sitting there till the time you get your fund, and when you want to move out and start from your own kind of place, it is there.
They provide you office, computers.
Yeah, in terms of rural entrepreneurship, when she is saying, you have not been reaching out to them, kind of. I would like to say the story is not the same.
I'll continue. Eta break lo.
Okay.
প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক এটা বিৰতি ল'ব লাগিব বিৰতিৰ পিছত পুনৰ ঘূৰি আহিম আৰু আমি কথা পাতিম ওমেন ইন বিজনেছৰ বিষয়ে
এতিয়া বিশ্বই জানে ষ্ট্ৰং মানে মাইথান নিৰ্মাণৰ মানদণ্ড
নমস্কাৰ প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক বিৰতিৰ পিছত সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো আমাৰ বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান উদ্যমী অসম উইমেন ইন বিজনেছ মিতা আপুনি ইমানখিনি গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট স্কিম আছে কিন্তু আমাৰ যিসকলে বিজনেছ আৰম্ভ কৰিব বিচাৰিছে মহিলাসকল নাৰীসকল তেওঁলোকে নাজানে দে ডু নট নো দে আৰ নট এৱেৰ অফ দোজ গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট স্কিমছ so these are not being utilized the way it should have been so কেনেকৈ কি ক'ব বিচাৰিব
The first thing I would say ki whenever a woman wants to jump into a business they really need to understand ki moi business korim, that's okay, fine, but they really need to understand what are the facilities which are already there for me. For that they need to talk to people.
That is the first step,
the
right?
first thing.
Okay.
In case of startup, young people are really aware that there is something called Startup India, Stand Up India. There are sites, there are ministry sites. Everyone has a mobile site or gole hole, you have to register and then you get a lot of help. They will connect with you automatically. Then similarly in when you talk of we have the Department of Industries Commerce, Mamoni Modanat ase. People who know go there, register themselves, they have access because the ICC also helps them in terms of various linkages including funding. They do not fund themselves, but they can help you what are the various schemes of the government, how do we process the papers, how do you get this fund. I do agree that still there's a lot of lack in awareness and sensitization. There should be more programs and more agencies coming forward who should actually go to every strata and to every section of women to make them aware that these are there. Now since we are already moving, the country itself is moving towards promoting entrepreneurship in a big way. These things needs to be, plenty of schemes and policies are there. This thing needs to be accessed by women.
Grampreneurs, rural entrepreneur খিনিৰ কাৰণে how to তেওঁলোকক কেনেকৈ জনাব পৰা যায় এইবোৰ কথা
rural entrepreneurshipৰ কাৰণে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ কি হয় কিছুমান ইমপ্লিমেণ্টিং এজেন্সি আছে গৈ আছে we spoke about clusters দুই তিনটা স্কিম আছে aspire আছে spurti আছে MSc CDP scheme আছে তো lot of, in fact if we talk of Northeast, the largest market share is from the rural entrepreneurship. Amar mohila bilak junbilak handloom and handicrafted ase, most of them they are rural women entrepreneurs, even in food processing. So and the funding is much more easier for them.
Yes, funding scheme is funding easier
for them. So the percentage of women from rural are actually more, even if they are in that smallest segment, very micro level, but still they are more in numbers.
Right. Arundhati, apni kiba ta kobo bicharise?
মই এটা কথা এড কৰিব বিচাৰিছিলো ৰিসেন্টলি এটো ওমেন এন্টাৰপ্ৰেনাৰশিপৰ স্পেসিফিক নহয় ইটস এবাউট স্টার্টআপ সো ৰিসেন্টলি আমাৰ এটা প্ৰগ্ৰাম হৈছিল নৰ্থ ইষ্ট স্টার্টআপ ফেষ্টিভেল তাতে আমি বহুত মানে অল এক্ৰছ দ্য নৰ্থ ইষ্ট বেলেগ ষ্টেটৰ পৰা ষ্টুডেণ্টছ আহিছে সিহঁতে নিজৰ স্টার্টআপ পিচিং কৰিছে সো হেইটোৱে মই ক'ব বিচাৰিছো যে এটো এবাৰ প্ৰথমবাৰৰ কাৰণে হৈছে এটো প্ৰগ্ৰাম so we'll need more of these kind of programs to bring the awareness hiyote ahise investors or logot kotha patise so there are sharing of ideas happening on stage off stage so hiyote bahut bhal paise participate kori pelai so we'll give them mentoring and incubation dia hobo hiyotok aru okoman fund dia hobo so I think these kind of things are coming up. It is slowly, mane awareness to all of ke create hoise, and we need to work more on it.
I would like to add one more thing. There are a lot of conclaves also happening on women, business conclave here. I think recently even IIT Guwahati has done an industry entrepreneur conclave. Similarly, DICC does. Assam government also has been doing women, and where they are actually encouraging rural women entrepreneurs. They are bringing them to the city. They are conducting seminars, for them, specifically with them, and connecting them to the bankers also. So some efforts are ongoing.
Bibhinno kam hoi thoka dekha goise moi nimisa apuna khudiyo bisarem generally ami ema pray 2 mah manor pora ei show to kori asilu entrepreneurship report বিশেষকৈ দেখা পাইছো নাৰী সকলক দেখা পাইছো মাইক্ৰো এন্টাৰপ্ৰাইজ বা কটেজ ইন্ডাষ্ট্ৰিৰ লগত জড়িত বিয়ন্ড দ্যাট মই কোৱা নাই খিনি বেয়া বুলি আমাৰ হিউজ এটা নেটৱৰ্ক আছে উইমেন আৰ্টিসান ফ্ৰম দি ভিলেজেস কিন্তু তাৰ বিয়ন্ড দ্যাট অন্য যিবোৰ সেক্টৰ আছে ফ্লোৰিচিং সেক্টৰ যিবোৰ সেক্টৰত কাম কৰি বিভিন্ন কোম্পানী আজি ইণ্ডিয়াত ইউনিকৰ্ন হৈছে অসমত নাৰী পাৰ্টিসিপেশন হেব্ৰত কম দেখা পোৱা যায় গতিকে মোক কক স্কোপ কি আছে নৰ্থ ইষ্টত বিয়ন্ড কটেজ ইন্ডাষ্ট্ৰি এণ্ড মাইক্ৰো এন্টাৰপ্ৰাইজেস কি আছে বা অসমৰ নাৰী হেব্ৰৰ প্ৰতি এনকাৰেজ কিয় নহয় না যায় কিয়
So firstly, it's about my startup or kotha ta I would like to bring to the highlight je eta startup ot scalability lage if somebody is running a startup it has to scale etia moyu kobo bisara nai je micro enterprises ba jonto entrepreneurial spirit that we have seen in our women of Northeast hetu je beya hoy that should be discouraged not at all but startup eta scale koribo karone the primary requirement is that it has to be tech based hole scalability to all of easy hoy jay kintu we have seen that people that women especially they lean more towards enterprises they lean more towards traditional businesses which is very good but startup or kotha kobole gole they do not have I have not seen a lot of representation of women in the startup ecosystem investors are very skeptical of investing in women founded startups hetu eta societal behavior or change ahibo lagibo the approach has to be a little different government is definitely promoting women entrepreneurs but society has shift eta ahibo lagibo which slowly it is coming but it has to be fast tracked etia representation nai when we look at major companies or board or there are no women hey bostutu jetia ami change korbo parim when we put our women up in higher management positions when we give them equal opportunities when we give them the required push only then mohila startup or line or two, they will lean towards the startup rather than going into traditional businesses, or that is very much required. Unicorns were a lot of eta duta unicorn hai ase, we can count them on our fingers. Unicorns run by women, founded by women. But that should be different. It should be an equal ecosystem is equal to all our to its men and women. But his societal change that anibo lagiba, a behavior approach change ahibo lagiba. We need to habituate ourselves with seeing women in higher management positions. And only then when I see when I see my mother as a VP of the company, only then I'll be encouraged to become reach that position.
Role model
representation definitely
encouraged hoy. Tech based apuni kole tech based hobo lage ta startup tete scalability thake.
It's not a requisite, it's not a mandate, but primarily at a it's a requirement at a thake.
Generally, Mita, how do you react?
I'll just change it a little bit. Jodi at a Prime Minister Employment Generation Yojana se, I really do not know how many of you have taken fund. If you see the record since its launch, there has been 1.3 lakh projects which has been set up by women entrepreneurs under this scheme up till 2019, pre-COVID. If you see, these are not startup also, forget about unicorns. So and if you see in terms of number of women entrepreneurs who have not only started and given employment, direct employment, and India ki hai women entrepreneurs, how is it defined? It is an enterprise which is owned by a woman, has a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital, and also which at least gives 51% of employment generation to women itself. So hetu khetrot dekhi gole, if we see in terms of scalers, there are 22 to 27 million people who have been provided direct employment under women scheme. So a good women or they come from all, they are not startup, they are women entrepreneurs in general and I must say.
Right, hoy. Priyo dorshok eta biroti lobo laibo, birotir pisot punore alochona agbohai loi jam.
এতিয়া বিশ্বই জানে স্ট্রং মানে মাইথান নির্মাণৰ মানদণ্ড
নিমিষা খুটিছিলো নমস্কাৰ প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক বিৰতিৰ পিছত সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো আমাৰ এই বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানলৈ উদ্যমী অসম উইমেন ইন বিজনেছ এটো শেষৰটো সেগমেন্ট প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক মই সুধিব বিচাৰিম অৰুন্ধতী আৰু কৰিশ্মাক আপোনালোকৰ যি প্ৰডাক্ট সেই প্ৰডাক্ট কেনেকৈ আপোনালোকে ৰিচ আউট কৰে বা আপোনালোকৰ বায়াৰ্স অসমত কেনেকৈ তেওঁলোকক হৈতে কানেক্ট হয় আৰু ওভাৰসিজ বা আউটসাইড আসাম আপোনালোকে কেনেকৈ কানেক্ট হয় স্বাভাৱিকতে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া সকে ইউজ কৰে যদি কেনেকৈ কৰে আপোনাৰ আৰম্ভ কৰিম কৰিশ্মা
মই তো ফাৰ্স্ট এতিয়া ধৰক সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া ইজ দ্য ফাৰ্স্ট एकदम crucial Instagram Facebook is something quite handy ho actually sobe thake ami boost up kori play location wisely kori asu etia aru out of India is something because moi bahut travel moi bahar thaka je hetu mur common links asile tar pisot aha pisota moi ta presentation banai play mur known manhok pathaislu through that it got spreaded secondly social media is helping out LinkedIn is also helping out Twitter to I am being active aru secondly ki hoise amar kisuman mur design forum ot amar bahut bhal links ase groups ase amar design forums it aru kisuman shows amar hoy tenke Delhi Bombay amar recently foid hoy gol festival of architecture and interior designs Milan design week or karne etia there are some free preparations going on moi hetu karne product banai asu where I'm planning to take few people also from here so that they understand ki tate weaving to keneke hoy mane bahiro manhue he bostu kini bahut value kore
artisan loi jabo gaon
moi bisarisu that's the reason I have given an application also dujon man holeo where
that's a very good idea
where they can show at least keneke hoy bostu to moi recently eta gaon ekhonot goi hesu হাফলঙত তেতিয়া মই তাত চালু যে উল্টা কৰি প্লে দে হিয়তি উইভ কৰে প্ৰিন্টটো উল্টা পিনে আমি দেখা পাওঁ মানে ইট ইজ লাইক সো ইন্ট্ৰিকেট হে বস্তুখিনি আমি মই নিজে না জানিছিলো আজি গম পাইছো সো আই ৰিয়েলি ওয়ান্ট দ্য আউট অফ পিপল কিয় প্ৰডাক্টটো বহুত ধুনিয়া লাগিছে ইজ নট সামথিং দে অলসো হ্যাভ টু देयर শুড বি স্টোৰী বিহাইণ্ড আই ফিল হে কাৰণে আই এম ট্ৰাইং টু কানেক্ট দিস পিপল অলসো এণ্ড মাই সেলফ অলসো আৰু প্ৰডাক্টটো মই সদায় স্টোৰী লাইনটো দেখাই আছো দ্যাটস দ্য ৰিজন লাহে লাহে ইটস টেকিং me months I won't say iman hunkale hoise but lahele manhole like wow enka bostu ase northeast that is how it is getting in so people are giving you like appreciation and also wanting these things to be outside so he kind of social media is of course done but I'm trying to attend lot of physical exhibitions you know so ekhini foid hoy gol ba apunar India Design Week bully hoy tate amar Suzanne Khan and all these who are designers also like they're there, so even they also don't know bahut exchange of knowledge and ideas hoy ase, so I'm trying to do that and luckily laheke hoy ase. Let's see aru kiman kin
festivals ba virtual festivals ba physical festivals hoy hebur kiman proyojon je code hoy apuni participate kora lage ba amar Assam Guwahati ba capital city kekhon North East hobo lage boli bhabe niki?
North East to I think it's very important hoboi lage because amar iman manhu ase who are so actually creative aru he bostu khini I think kobat lack hoy ase kene manhu khini na janise kod dekham goi play they only things that hoy kobat exhibition mane field dot goi play product khin dekhable it's really not necessary.
Festival Nagaland dot hoy, North East festival yat hoy, Rongali festival hoy, government festival ase hibrot he dono exposure by scope to na pai niki ba apunalokor jibur domain expert tale nahe niki?
I don't think so that consumer response is so good there. Mane ahe for those 3 din side no karne bhal likhibole hoy ba loi jay, but how are those things going outside where actual market to ase? For example amar Vietnam market ba Bali market ot amar furnitures bamboo use hoy, but ইয়াৰ পৰা আমাৰ যে ইমান ধুনিয়া handcrafted বস্তুবোৰ বনাই, why are those not actually getting reached? My friend who stays in Canada, he is only the one who is telling me, Karishma, please can you get me few furnitures here so that I can throw out on New York or kisman showrooms or ajikali bamboo is I think Ananti Bayo janibo, they're so wanted basically for all the elements. It can be a light, it can be side table in big hotels, in 8-star resorts and hotels, they're wanting it. So I think it's a correct time for people to come out, idealize the whole idea, make a presentation, mail it, push it through social media, because that is something will be very easy. Not everybody would be knowing. More plus point to asile kane moi use kori asu.
Right. But Arundhati, apunar product ba apunar services keneke loi jay bahirole biswamukhi keneke kore, global market ot keneke loi jay, social media ବ୍ୟବহাৰ keneke kore?
Ami global market ot etialoke we have not gone that far, so ami eta pan India kori asu. Karan ami eta ekdom we are a very new enterprise.
Pan India keneke kore?
Yes, pan India ami social media through die koru, ami boosting koru tai janake kole, and we are active in all different forums, social media gg ase hetu koru, and like I've heard already amar exhibitions bilak are definitely very very important. Etia amar ki hol ami jetia when we started our venture tar pisot ako covid or ebar dubar man bondho hol and all that, so etia for me as an individual entrepreneur, I'm talking about myself, so etia now will be the time I'll jump into all gg heri ase exhibitions ase programs ase, I'll grab all of them, I'll be seen in all of them, see what they can offer us. So hebur koribo lagibo, Delhi hoy, Mumbai hoy, amar in fact Guwahati to kedin man agote hunar hat hoy gol. It was a massive program. I think we have very much tenekwa dhonor programs amar hobo lage yearly or 6 monthly amar hobo lage, so that's a big exposure. I think things are coming up, things are getting back to normal, bhal hoy ahise and aru hobo. Buyer
or seller karone connecting at a point lage.
Yes.
Yes, Mita, I'm coming to you.
Every ministry, positive I like to share the positive. Every ministry, Hunar Haat is from the Ministry of Minority Affairs.
Yes.
So similarly, Handloom and Handicraft Ministry, including the department, they have exhibitions not only once, twice in a year. Similarly, when you are talking of interior designing, so Ministry of Agriculture, here are exhibition high. People take their food process items and showcase in state and also in the national capital. So Guti ministry eta ase, they have exhibitions and all. Again ami he kotha to tahilu, how many people know about it, how many people are accessing it. But there is it is available, it's there, so you have to go and understand, I want to participate in the exhibition or the fair, so they have to go register themselves, take whatever necessary the number of products that they have to correct, the date to fix up kori lobo lagibo, jabo lagibo.
Probably ji organized government kore exhibition bur ba ji hokol elok seller telokor jitu connection hobo lagisil, government elokok ji dhone bujibo lagisile, internalize koribo lagisil ba eloke domain expert bisaribo pare ba bibhinno khetrot elokor domain to jikhini buyer thake he jitu connection to the connection between government agencies and the entrepreneur, is it tar karone this is don't you think this is not happening, which is why the things are not connecting? Kya kole exhibition
Yeah, listening to them, I have a feeling there is lack of awareness, or there is a communication gap in terms of connect.
More of communication gap.
Yeah, listening to them, that's what I'm feeling. But at the same time, aji jenekama sarastu hoi gol. If you talk of many women who have not even got a stall because it got all filled up. So I think there are people who are aware or who takes the initiative to be aware more accessible in terms of ki hote gute thait bilak jay. At the same time, of course, government medium follow pora ba other institution follow pora, there has to be a reach out. There has to be a reach out.
I'll have to wind up. Apuni ki ko bisare mur hetuye proshno exhibitions hoy, government funding hoy, sob hoy. So somewhere kiba ta disconnect ase niki?
There's definitely a disconnect. Etia moi jodi like if I was a startup founder myself, the iman khini scheme or to stay updated on what schemes there are, ki korise government, it's very difficult. So definitely there's an information gap, there's a lack of platforms. Etia moi India Accelerator or kotha eta I would like to highlight here that eta ecosystem within a confined space, eta umbrella banai dia hoise jot startup founders are networking with each other, where they are interacting with each other. Northeast Guwahati nisna jaga jot mane founders are well connected to each other, tahator bhitorte everybody is working in silos. Government nizor kam kori ase, media nizor kam kori ase, startup founders are running for funding, kintu ei gute khini eketa platform ote nai, eketa forum ot nai. They're not under a single umbrella, they're working in silos. The hey connection to we need to bridge through information, through awareness, through sensitization. Schools have to play a role, universities have to play a role, private institutions like India Accelerator has to play a role. Zetia, when all of these parts come together,
everyone has to play a role. Nimisai suggestion kita dile jikita khule khube ফলপ্ৰসূ তেতিয়াহে অসমত বা এন্টায়াৰ নৰ্থ ইষ্টত এক ইতিবাচক পৰিৱেশ উদ্যমনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত গঢ়িব পৰা যাব। প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক, এতিয়ালৈ এৰিব লাগিব। শুভৰাত্ৰি।
এতিয়া বিশ্বই জানে ষ্ট্ৰং মানে মাইথান নিৰ্মাণৰ মানদণ্ড।